First at 5, North Charleston Councilmember Jerome Heyward has resigned. This after a bombshell. 14 federal charges were filed against him. He's accused of several counts of extortion, bribery, embezzlement, and money laundering. The U.S. Attorney's Office, FBI, and SLED keeping tight-lipped during a short press conference today. We have team coverage for you tonight, starting with our Webb Wright. He has details on the 30-page document and what law enforcement officials said. Webb?
Now, Katie, if there's one quote from this 30-page bombshell report that kind of sums it up, it's one that goes like this: expletive deleted, this free money. And this is really detailing a full scope of kickbacks and corruption. And even though Councilman Heyward's name was all over this report, he's not the only player in this game, but federal agents did pin him as the ringleader. In a multi-layered program of grift and extortion in city government, the charges stem from three main schemes involving Heyward and others to enrich themselves at the expense of the North Charleston community. The first involves extortion related to an unnamed business. The charges say Heyward approached what's been labeled as Business One in October of 2023, asking them to donate his and other re-election campaigns. Documents say Heyward then approached the business again, offering his lobbying and consulting services, asking for $10 grand up front and $7,500 every month for 1 year. The businessman reported the exchange to the FBI, and agents started recording the telephone calls and meetings between Heyward and that businessman.
They pledged to uphold the law, act with integrity, and place the public interest over their own. Public service should never merely be a job. It is a public trust. The allegations in this case describe a profound betrayal of that trust. These council members used their positions not to serve their community, but to enrich themselves.
Another level of the scheme involved the long-running effort by a company referred to as Company A in records. The documents say Company A wanted to build a boat manufacturing plant in North Charleston. It's an effort we reported on numerous times over the past year. The charges detail payments made by Company A lobbyists and consultants who then in turn kicked back money to Heyward and fellow Councilman Michael A. Brown for their influence and support, and we'll dive deeper in these charges coming up at 6 p.m. The third prong of the indictment surrounds embezzling and kickbacks from two anti-violence nonprofits in exchange for securing grants for those particular nonprofits. And Claire Weber is live in North Charleston, and she has more on that aspect of the indictment. Claire, what did you find out?
Webb, Heyward is accused of accepting $40,000 in kickbacks from two local nonprofits in exchange for using his power to ensure the two groups received $100,000 grants from the city aimed at reducing violence in the community. Those two nonprofits are Core for Success and Developing, Educating, and Empowering People, or DEEP SC. The documents say Heyward repeatedly encouraged the groups to apply for a grant. They then agreed to pay Heyward 20% of any funding they received in exchange for his support of their applications. The city's grant program totaled to $1.3 million that was awarded to 13 different nonprofits. None of the other grant recipients are named in the indictment. We spoke with Lewis Smith of the Community Resource Center, who received grant money. He says he's appalled to hear these charges.
The majority of those nonprofits that work with the gun violence program did an amazing job in communicating and working within North Charleston. They did their job, okay? And the conduct that I'm listening to and just read, it's true, it's totally 100% unacceptable.
North Charleston Mayor Reggie Burgess has released a statement on the indictment saying in part, quote, the city has fully cooperated with this inquiry, embracing the opportunity to ensure the continued trust and confidence of our community. Transparency and accountability remain core principles of this administration. We've reached out to both Deep SC and Core for Success for any comment on these charges. Working for you live in North Charleston, Claire Weber, News 4.